Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Everyone needs a stockpile of food. It's just so very important. You should fill your pantry with at least 3 months worth of food that you could have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Your food can be easy to prepare. Maybe it doesn't even need any cooking. Foods that you could just tear open and eat, open a can, heat it up, maybe do a little bit of cooking, and then figure out ways to combine those foods to make more interesting meals. After you have a lot of just simple to eat, ready to go foods, stockpile the longest lasting foods. The foods that can be stored in an airtight container that can last for up to 30 years. Beans and rice, oatmeal and pasta, all of those different baking supplies that maybe you want to bake cookies or breads. Have the types of foods on hand that you enjoy eating and that you know how to prepare, so that if we get into some protracted problem, that you will still be able to provide the basic necessities for your family. You don't want to be scrounging for the food to prepare a meal each day when you may be facing lots of other hardships. There are all kinds of reasons why you want to have food on hand. And it varies, of course, according to where you live, how many are in your family, what are the challenges in the areas that you live. Depending on where you live, you're going to have your own specific problems and challenges. For example, where I live in Alaska, earthquakes are a problem. I want to be prepared for that. Winter snowstorms and cold temperatures are also a challenge. So figure out what are the challenges in addition to just regular life that everyone faces that are particular to you and your region and where you live and the people that are in your family. We're living in critical times and we might face major life challenges, and then having the basic strength to go to your pantry and open something and eat it can take up all of your strength. You want to be prepared for the major life-changing events that come to all of us. We usually don't know when we'll have those kind of crises, but even something as joyful as a new baby, it puts a measure of undue stress on you if you don't have just basic foods to supply for your family. We know that there have been out-of-control prices, there's supply chain issues, there's shortages in the stores. One of my neighbors called me and said she finally made it out to the grocery store and the price of eggs and butter were just astronomical. So these are just everyday items that we want to have, and they may be available, but they may become unaffordable, and that's going to be one of the challenges that we seem to be facing ahead. One thing I'm pleased with is that the price of gasoline has dropped here in Alaska. And well, even though I haven't been able to get out of my house because of the snow for about a week, the price had dropped to $3.89, and it was way up to $5.49, $5.69 just a month or two ago. And now for it to drop that dramatically was a relief. It's not down where it was though in 2020, but it's certainly heading back in the right direction. I don't foresee that staying that way forever, but we never know. So we have to be prepared. And while, say, the price of gas is lower, make sure you're still budgeting for it to go up and that you're putting some of that money aside so that when the prices do go up, you're still going to have extra cash on hand. That's one reason to make a budget, so that you know, I have this much to spend on food, this much to spend on transportation, and each of your areas. Then if your budget for, say, a week of food is $100 and you only spend $90, don't blow the extra $10. Save it aside for next week when prices might cost more, or you'll find something that's on a good sale and you can stock up and add a few extras. So budgeting is becoming more important. If you're not a person who enjoys budgeting, you might consider it a life skill that's even more important now than ever, and have to just suck it up, be a grown-up, and take care of business in a logical, safe, and reasonable way. We know that there's still war going on in the world, and the uncertainty of if it could escalate, could it spread, would we be involved? Those are also issues that we need to be aware of. We don't want to focus on it. We don't want to just spend so much time that it stresses us out, but we need to be aware of what's going on, not only in our community, but around the world, so that we have our finger on the pulse of what are the challenges we might face in the future. Having food gives you the security that you can take care of yourself. Having food saves you money. The prices are going up. The food that you buy today could be lower than it will ever be again in the future. And so if you have extra going forward, that saves you some money in the long run. Having food keeps you healthy and nourished. Try to find the healthiest foods you can. When summertime is here, try to grow a little bit of food. Try to make sure that you're serving more vegetables than starches or meats, just because it's better for you to eat from the rainbow of what can be grown in the garden and in the farms. Having food can keep you safe. You don't have to go out if there's a winter storm and the roads aren't safe. You don't have to go out if there's some civil unrest or there's rioting or protests in your city streets. You don't have to go out if with the crime rates that are surging in so many places. You are safe at home with the supplies, and you aren't putting yourself at undue risk because you didn't plan to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Having food on hand gives you confidence. It gives you courage that you know you can face the future. You've taken care of one of the basic building blocks of survival and responsibility, and then it allows you to use your energy to go forth and figure out how to face all the other challenges that we have in life. Everybody has challenges. We just never know when they're coming our way, but they will. And so the more you prepare, the better off you'll be. You can face the future with as brightest outlook possible if you prepare to face each day for it to be the best it can be. And that is why I'm a prepper. I want every day to turn out the best that it can be for myself and my family. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.